Well, we got some new Zelda lore dropped. Sony admits to making some new hardware, but that shouldn't surprise anyone. And a bunch of other small stories in this week's game news show. Welcome back, everybody. Let's jump right into our topics here as we get started. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 sent out on the 25th on Twitter. Thank you, number one total players, number one hours played, and number one total matches in the first 30 days from launch. Uh, Together, you made Black Ops 6 the biggest Call of Duty ever, and this is significant because this is the first Call of Duty that launched into Game Pass, and it's still selling really well on PlayStation. And I really don't know the PC numbers, but I assume it's doing well enough there too. But the Game Pass numbers are not to be ignored. I believe subs are up. I haven't seen any confirmation, but it's believed the Game Pass subs are up across the board for Microsoft and Xbox. Um, but this is good. I mean, we've played it on stream a little bit. I've enjoyed it. It's a decent Call of Duty as a casual first person shooter enjoyer. I've had fun with it. So good on to the team for making a game that people like. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. All right, let's move on. I kind of forgot about this game, but Star Wars Hunters, this game launched on Switch and mobile exclusively. It's finally coming to PC. We're excited to announce Star Wars Hunters is coming to PC. Here's your first look. Check out the new trailer and let us know if you're excited to dive in. I suppose we could watch it. Let's see. All right, may contain content inappropriate for children. I think this is the best way for this game to go forward and like be popular. Look at that. They just added like more details because it's not on a Switch or a phone. That screenshot didn't look that different. But I wonder if it's crossplay. I didn't notice that, but that would be kind of cool. So I wonder if it's going to come to PlayStation and Xbox as well. Does that seem like excessively loud for anybody else? Maybe it's just me. All right. Steam playtest December 13th through 16th. Hey, we might do that. I might actually do that because I did not want to play this game on Switch. Apex is not fun on Switch. Fortnite is not very fun on Switch. I don't know that Star Wars Hunter. It was built for Switch first, I suppose. That might be like the edge for it. But as it stands, it's good that this is coming to PC. It had to eventually. I'd like to know if it's coming to consoles as well that aren't the Switch. That would also be a good thing. But hey, it's worth checking out. It's a hero shooter set in Star Wars. It looks kind of fun. It does look fun. I just did not want to download it on my Switch. So we might check out the PC version though. I think it'd be a good time. All right, speaking of PC games, Marvel Rivals is coming out pretty soon. If you play 10 matches in the eligible game modes, if you play Marvel Rivals through the Epic Game Store, you get a glider in Fortnite, which I thought was kind of neat, but it's weird that this game is already doing like cross promotional things with other games. But that's not really that different for other things in the Epic Store. I feel like Epic Games is like, hey, we'll make stuff for you, and they've got a pretty good relationship with Marvel and Disney as a whole, so this doesn't really surprise me all that much. But I thought it was cool. I mean, if you like free stuff in Fortnite, they got the big event with Juice World going on right now. You can get that skin just by logging into the game. So you know, if you're gonna play Marvel Rivals on PC, play it on Epic Games. Get a glider in Fortnite if you play Fortnite. I don't know, I thought it was cool. But speaking of Fortnite, we got new art for the current season or the next season. I thought the season was originally called Hunters, but this symbol is Ghost, supposedly. I only speak English. Am smooth-brained American here. But Chapter 6, Season 1, Ghost Hunters seems kind of cool, but the art itself is nice. We have Godzilla, we've got Baymax, we've got some good-looking original characters going on here. I'm excited for this season. After Chapter 5, I'm excited for hopefully something better. You know, that's just how I feel about it. If you guys have caught the streams, but it is super cool and good to see some good collabs coming. I wonder how Godzilla works in Fortnite. I'm excited. Maybe it destroys the whole map. I don't know. All right, let's move on to our next topic. This was wild. So we got confirmation on where Zelda Echoes of Wisdom fits into the timeline, which is updated. This is the official Zelda site, and Echoes of Wisdom is in the Hero is Defeated timeline for Ocarina of Time, following Link to the Past, Link's Awakening, Oracle of Ages, and Oracle of Seasons, A Link Between Worlds, Triforce Heroes, and then Echoes of Wisdom. And it takes place before the very first Legend of Zelda game. So if you wondered where it fits into the timeline, Nintendo just went ahead and wrapped that up. Supposedly, Echoes of Wisdom started out as a follow-up to Link to the Past and maybe Link Between Worlds to some degree. And so to see this is kind of neat. I thought this was cool. People were sharing it. I went straight to the website and checked it out. Plus, I like the Japanese logos. They look really good. The text and everything. It just, I don't know. It looks good. But anyway, I thought it was interesting. Just to see where that fits in. People were asking because we covered it a while back on the game news and noticed that Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild just kind of exist in their own universe timeline where all of the games have happened. It's weird. But I don't think this series necessarily needs a timeline. But it's neat to know where these slot in, you know? But anyway, let's move on to our next story. I just thought this was kind of neat. Speaking of Nintendo, Switch eShop and online services are ending in China on March 31st, 2026. All software will no longer be available to purchase or claim. May 15th, 2026, players will no longer be available to download titles / redeem codes. And then starting November 27th, 2024, players with a Chinese Switch and an active WeChat account can receive up to 4 Switch games for free. I don't know a lot of the reasoning behind this, but I do know that the rules for eShops and digital shops for China are pretty different from the States. Nintendo is probably getting ready to ramp up the Switch 2 eShop, and some of those titles may carry over. They may not allow some crossover or something there. I'm not really sure, but this is from Wario64, quoting Video Games Chronicle. I guess we could look at the article real quick. I don't know that there's gonna be a whole lot of info, but let's see. March 31st, 2026, eShop will stop selling games and any other software. After this date, all software, including paid and free titles, will no longer be available to purchase or claim. We saw that. Nintendo Switch is sold in collaboration with Tencent, the Chinese tech giant that owns dozens of developers and other tech firms. When Nintendo Switch first launched in China in 2020, it released just one first-party game, Smash Bros. Ultimate. All right, so from November 27th, 2024, March 31st, 2026, players of Chinese Switch can get 4 games for free. That's a good list. Yeah, it doesn't say why though. I don't understand, but I'm sure there's something going on. A lot of people think it's related to the Switch 2. So there you have it. All right, let's move on to our next topic here. PlayStation 2 officially the biggest selling console of all time, 160 million units sold. This was confirmed just recently thanks to the PlayStation 30th anniversary celebration on the website. The 30th anniversary information on the website has come out, and they have different sections for PlayStation, PS2, and the PS2 section. It's pretty cool. A lot of cool stuff you can scroll through. But the number itself, 160 million PS2s sold worldwide since the year 2000. That's wild. That makes it seem like undo, like it can't be done again. The Switch is caught up to some degree. It's not near this 160 number, but there's 145, 149. It's gaining ground, but I don't think it'll hit there. This number is pretty impressive. It's good to see some actual confirmation, because we speculated it's been around this for some time. But this is cool, and it's just something that even back then was a huge number. It's still a huge number because the Switch, as long as it's been on the market, has not been able to touch this. But you also have to consider this was also not just a game console; it was an affordable DVD player, which was all the rage at the time. Right? Getting a DVD, that was the next thing. You had to have a DVD player. And so the PS2 was really a well-marketed system. And yeah, it was great. It was a great system. So cool to see. I just thought that was fun. All right, let's talk about Windows 11. Recent update for Windows 11 was blocked on PCs with Assassin's Creed and Star Wars Outlaws. For some reason, these Ubisoft games were having issues with the latest updates, and so Microsoft said, "Hey, something's wrong with our updates. We're not going to be pushing them until we figure this out." But Microsoft says the games affected are Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Origins Odyssey, Star Wars Outlaws, and Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Don't know what's going on there, but apparently other games have been affected in this as well. Far Cry, Call of Duty. It could be just a bad update for gamers. I don't know. A lot of people talk about reverting to Windows 10 for gaming and streaming, that everything runs better on Windows 10. But eventually Windows 10 won't be supported. So hopefully they can work this out pretty quick. And I don't know what to make of this. It's just weird that an update affects games so specifically, but it's Microsoft in the current year. Let it be to them to just break things for everybody, right? But interesting that they recognize that there is a problem. Again, I don't know exactly what it is. They haven't said. Assuming a fix is in the works, though. All right, let's go on to our next thing. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but Balatro. Have y'all played this game? It's a Game of the Year contender. It's a really great indie game. It released on mobile. It's in Apple Arcade, so if you have Apple Arcade, it's free and it's awesome. I've been playing it probably more than I should, but it's really fun. It's really fun. But anyway, let's talk about the article. Balatro's mobile release has managed the almost impossible task of knocking Minecraft from its long-maintained top spot on the charts, which is wild. But basically, the article goes on to say that the Minecraft has just been booped down from its number one spot on the mobile charts. The game's $10 compared to Minecraft's like $7. It's interesting that such an indie game and such a niche game is toppling Minecraft. Who would have thought Minecraft could be toppled ever on phones? But Balatro is really fun. It's worth picking up. It's easy. It's a card game. It's surprisingly fun. Like, I did not think I would like it. Everything I saw until I played it myself just misled me. I was like, that doesn't look like it's for me. It looks weird. And then I played it. I was like, okay, I get it now. I get why people like it. So hopefully it wins Game of the Year. That would be awesome. All right, let's talk about Stalker 2. It's been having some trouble since it came out. There's a section of the game where it drops to 0 FPS on Xbox Series X, which is like, what the heck? What happened? This courtesy of Tech for Gamers. Stalker 2 runs poorly on the Series X in performance mode, but one particular area pushes hardware to its limits. The game outright freezes for more than 5 seconds, dropping to 0 FPS. Once it recovers, it stays around 40 FPS. So, oof. Something's going on with the code there. I have no idea what, though. Like, that's what would cause that, right? The console games are usually so, like, uniquely optimized that for this to happen, I just can't imagine back in the day buying like a Genesis game that would just freeze and just stop and be broken for like any amount of time. Now, if you hit it or whatever, that was a different thing. You busted the cartridge, sure. But this is just weird. For a game, any game to come out that's breaking on any system that it's on is just weirdly accepted. It frustrates everyone, but it keeps happening. But this is like one of the worst things I've heard of happening. It's a AAA title. Microsoft, I think, had some direct involvement in its development. I don't know how the Series X is just struggling with the game, but something they're doing is either optimized incorrectly, poorly, or not at all. We'll find out. Hopefully they'll get a patch out to fix that, but I don't know what that would even look like. On to our next thing. Oh my gosh, if you guys haven't thought about this in a while, Xbox avatars are done. This is the new avatars, like the ones they launched on Xbox One that nobody messed with. They were kind of weird when they took forever to come out. And then when they came out, it's like, what do we do with this? And the answer was nothing. You did nothing. But January 9th, 2025, Xbox Avatar Editor app will be discontinued. You can't change your avatar. You can go back to your Xbox original avatar, which is the Xbox 360 avatars. You can still edit those and mess with those, which won't be able to make or mess with the new ones at all. And that, no one's going to miss this. 0 people are going to miss this. It is pointless. It was pointless when it came out. It was a weird push for like customization and like representing yourself in games. Like that was a thing kind of thanks to Nintendo's Mii's. But even the Mii's have died down. Like the only place they're relevant is Smash Bros. And that's only because people make funny variants of Mii's that look like other characters. Hank Hill in Smash, for instance. But the Xbox Avatar editor just never took off. It just was weird. And they didn't use these in any games that I can think of outside of like the Kinect games, maybe the Xbox One Kinect games. I don't know. It's just weird. I'm surprised it took them this long to finally go, yeah, we're not supporting this anymore. All right, let's go into our last story before I apparently have a coughing fit. All right, Sony reportedly developing a new handheld to compete with Nintendo Switch. This shouldn't surprise anybody. I think everybody has gone on record saying that they are looking into handheld consoles. I mean, the PlayStation Portal is kind of like the first wave of that. But let's read on. Game Infinitus, who's been showing up a lot more in my feed lately, so they've got some good articles. Sony's reportedly in the early stages of developing a handheld gaming console that would allow users to play PlayStation 5 games on the go. Sources familiar with the matter say this new device aims to expand Sony's presence in the portable gaming market and directly compete with Nintendo's successful Switch platform. Excuse me. The handheld device is expected to build upon the concept introduced with the PlayStation Portal, Sony's streaming-focused handheld released in 2023. Unlike the Portal, which relies on streaming PS5 games over an internet connection, this new device is being designed to play PS5 games natively, similar to Valve's Steam Deck. However, the project is still in its early stages, and there's no guarantee it will reach the market. So yeah, it's all kind of speculation. People are talking about this as like rumors. But if this is accurate, right, it shouldn't surprise anyone. The Switch, Steam Deck, the Lenovo Legion, like all of these handhelds, the Asus one as well, all these hybrid systems are doing really well. The handheld market is actually taken off because of the Switch, which is surprising because before, you know, you had the DS and you had the PSP, and then you had the 3DS and the PS Vita. And while the PSP and the PS Vita were technically like more powerful, Nintendo systems have still dominated. I mean, this goes all the way back to the Game Boy, right? But now it's like, because architectures are so similar and handheld PCs are doing so well, handheld gaming PCs, I should say, because we've had smartphones and tablets and things for the longest time, but a handheld gaming PC device that uses Steam is just, it makes so much sense for so many people, and the support is really good, and there's just a lot of great access people have to games because of the Steam Deck and the other spin-offs from that. The fact that Sony would like be doing this, I mean, Microsoft confirmed that they're working on one, or I don't know. Phil Spencer kind of said some things, and it's still kind of rumored, but it's not officially confirmed, I guess. But we all expect, you know, some kind of Xbox Switch and PlayStation Switch like device, right? And this would be like, it would just make too much sense. Sony's already putting everything on PC. The PlayStation Xbox architecture is already so close to PC. I mean, it is PC, right? Like it's just customized OSs that run things really well. The optimization of the hardware would be right up their alley. Like there's no reason they can't do it except cost and probably form factor. Battery life would be a big concern. But here we are. I think it's really cool. And that's where I'll leave this week's game news. I know it's kind of short, kind of sudden. There weren't any major stories this week. I had to pause a lot. I need a break. But anyway, if you're watching this on YouTube, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you watching the video. Let me know what you think of any of these stories down below. And I'm going to go play video games now. See ya.